For Ramiro Restrepo, just taking part in last year's Kentucky Derby was a dream come true. Growing up, equine athletes, not football, baseball, or basketball players, sorry, Paulie, those were his heroes when he was young. I imagine at the top of that list is Kentucky Derby winner from last year. He takes us on that journey with MAGE that allowed him to play in a little bit bigger ballpark and get horses like Ferocious, who will send out in this year's Hopeful.
I'm a fifth-generation horseman. My grandfather and his children immigrated here in the late 1960s from Colombia. My mother's the youngest of the 7 kids, so she went to school here, met my father in college. My mother took my dad to the racetrack, and he was hooked. These tracks were my playground. They were my nursery school. You know, I learned to read with the daily racing form. I would study it like people study fantasy football, you know, thinking that one day it would come in handy for something. In high school, I hot walked here for a few years. You know, I got to see Go for Wand. I got to see Turn Back the Alarm. I got to see The Hare. These were my teams. These were my athletes. These were the guys that I followed. When I turned 30, I decided to get into horse ownership. After meeting Gustavo in 2020, and we started creating a little partnership together where I would recruit people to join a syndicate of sorts. Gustavo himself would invest in all the horses. So we went to the 2-year-old sale in 2022. And I remember Junior grabbing MAGE's mouth, and we were looking at him at the consignment. We're like, this is the guy. Let's get him. I hear my grandfather and my uncle say, you know, we're going to have it in the Derby. And to be able to fulfill the dream of having a horse in the race was unbelievable. I really wasn't even caught up in the emotion of the race. And yet, when they hit the top of the turn and I see that white blaze, 5 wide, you know, I was like, oh my God, like it's happening. So ganamos means we won. Like a horse switches leads, for some reason, in that moment, my brain switched leads to Spanish. I just started saying ganamos. We won. That's an out-of-body experience, man. It's crazy. Oh my God!
Ferocious is gathering serious momentum.
Gustavo Jr., Sr., and I, we all loved Ferocious. But we knew that he was that proverbial #1 draft pick.
Ferocious takes off through the stretch. What an effort. It was expected, and he sure delivered.
Look, $1.3 million isn't $290,000. I respect that number. A race like the Kentucky Derby or 2025 is still a ways away, but you just have to take it a day at a time. My favorite 2-year-old was a colt named The Hare. He came here and won the Hopeful, and to be able to say that Ferocious could become a winner like The Hare, that for me would be something super special.
You feel that emotion in that piece. Ramiro Restrepo finding MAGE, and you know that's the pinnacle, winning a Kentucky Derby. But that has allowed him now to play in this bigger ballpark at the auctions, looking for young horses and look for $1 million horses.
They're in the gate. And they're off in the Hopeful. And Smokin' Wicked, once again, very quick away from the gate, faster than Menti, who comes away in second. Ferocious in the top flight, just 2 lengths off the pace in third, followed by Tough Catch, who's fourth, 4 lengths off the lead. Then Innovator. Incentive Pay is in mid-pack with 8 lengths to make up. Studley, followed by Chancellor McPatrick and Mr. Mendelslew at the back of the field. 22-3 for the opening quarter mile. It's Smokin' Wicked and Menti head-to-head, as Ferocious is guided to the outside past the hole in third. Then comes Innovator along the rail in fourth, followed by Tough Catch, who's 5 lengths off the lead. 2 more to Incentive Pay, Chancellor McPatrick has 8 to make up, starting to pick up some ground. Studley Do-Right is next, a long way to Mr. Mendelsloh. 45-3 for Smokin' Wicked, who's been head-to-head with Menti top of the stretch. These two will come to the 8th pole right together. Incentive Paid dives down towards that very familiar inside for his run. Ferocious did not fire his best shot, but Chancellor McPatrick did, and he's coming fast on the outside. They're past the 16th pole, and Chancellor McPatrick, Ferocious